I'm Indira Lakshmanan. The Trump administration faces mounting pressure over the legality of lethal military strikes on suspected drug trafficking boats around Venezuela.
There are many questions left regarding what were the rules of engagement, and so I do think our military is being put in a very difficult situation.
More on the fallout next time on Here and Now.
This afternoon at 1 on 90.3 WPLN News.
Well, here I am, and Christmas is coming tonight.
I'm Tony Gonzalez, and this is Curious Nashville. And you're hearing a little bit of oddball Christmas music right now. This is I Don't Intend to Spend Christmas With You, and it's helping put us in the mood as we explore this niche genre of Christmas recordings. If you are just joining us, we began today by answering a question about a Nashville bank that had formed an all-employee Christmas choir, which ended up becoming locally famous and beloved. In a few minutes, we're going to start taking your calls live on air, and today we would love it if you have a comment or a question about holiday music. You can call us at 615-760-2000. Also, by the way, if you want to watch us live, we are streaming on YouTube today. That's youtube.com/@WPLN. To help us explore Christmas music, we've still got reporter Justin Barney with us, as well as two guests who are widely known as gurus of obscure Christmas music. I want to introduce our first guest, Andy Cirzan. He's based in Chicago with Jam Productions, and each year he assembles a huge batch of unusual Christmas music. Andy is with us. Andy, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
So I want to start, Andy. Can you just talk about how you got started collecting Christmas music in particular? I mean, was there like a first album, a first find that got you hooked?
No, basically, I'm a total vinyl nerd, and I'm a certain age where I started buying vinyl records in the 1970s and traveled a lot. And when I would get bored while working in different cities, I would find out where all the local record stores were and go rummage around, and it just kind of happened in a sort of organic way, because prior to that I was most interested in like British New Wave 45s and rock stuff, and I just sort of fell into it. And one year I got to the point where a bunch of my friends were kind of bugging me about, like, hey, why don't you put like a mixtape together and we can rock it while we're partying around the holidays. And this is going back to, like I said, like eons ago.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying you're saying 50 plus years of record collecting. So I mean, you must have quite a trove of Christmas music.
Thousands and thousands, 78s, 45s, all genres.
Wow.
They live in an off-site storage locker. I had to move them out of my house about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so somehow it ended up being this thing where the Chatter and whatnot got NPR to actually get a hold of me, and I've been doing a holiday show with them, specifically Sound Opinions, who are nationally syndicated. And every year I try to face down the challenge of putting together enough new finds to keep it interesting. And I guess I sort of succeed because I keep getting invited back, and I think that's the test.
Yeah, well, and I've definitely heard you on Sound Opinions, and we are going to get into some of your Christmas music picks in a few minutes. I do want to bring in our other guru today, because we're lucky to have not just one but two Christmas music collectors with us. Howard Petruziello is with Red Light Management. He promises he could also talk for hours about Christmas music. We don't have hours, but Howard, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome, and I've got hours. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I think we're going to get into the Christmas music here. We are going to take your local calls here in a few minutes as well. But Howard, how did you get into Christmas music collecting?
I mean, like Andy, I'm a record collector, so you're always just looking for records. Mine actually started with a record cover. I found Rudy Ray Moore, who's a black comic, did this crazy record called Merry Christmas Baby, which has got kind of a raunchy cover. Found the cover, I was like, I'll make this into my Christmas card. Then I was like, wow, wait, this is a record. I should try to find it. And then I don't know, a few months later, back in, it's like 89 or 90, a compilation came out, probably like a guy that's like Andy or me, but he was doing it back then, named Eddie G. It was called Christmas Party with Eddie G.
Mm.
And I think like Epic, like a major label, put this thing out, and it was awesome. So it's just one of those moments you have like, wow, there's all this cool Christmas music. It had like, Detroit Jr., Byron Lee and the Dragonaires, Huey Piano Smith, and it just opened up my ears. And I'm like, I'm going to find these records, and here I am, 35 years later with probably near 1,000 of them.
Ooh, near 1,000. Well, I was going to ask about kind of the range of Christmas music you've got. You've given us a little taste there. I mean, there's kind of a lot of subgenres within Christmas music.
A lot of subgenres, and there's not even one I love, and just sort of depends on the mood. I mean, there's a whole world of disco Christmas music, great blues, even from like the 30s and 40s on through. Some punk rock Christmas. It's all there. So if you think you don't like Christmas music, you just haven't heard the right record yet.
Howard, I know that you're a big dub reggae collector as well. Is there a crossover between dub and Christmas at all?
There's some really great Jamaican records. Even back, from the ska era, like Bob Marley and the Wailers made a Christmas single. But all through Rocksteady, dub. There's this great Ray I record. It's all out there. I mean, the Jamaican Christmas stuff is it's pretty great.
I bet.
We're only scratching the surface here. Now, Howard, we did ask you to pick just one song that we're going to highlight today. So we're going to hear a clip from it here in just a moment. This is, and then we'll ask you about it. This is Put the Loot in the Boot, Santa by Mae West.
Put the loot in the boot, Santa, you've gotta be good to me. Another jewel would be cool, Big Daddy. They're having a sale down at Tiffany's. Last year's mink was fine for a while.
So, Howard, Put the Loot in the Boot, Santa, Mae West. Why? Why this one?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you asked me for one, and I think I sent you like 37. And you said this one. So,
true.
This is a great record. And this is just one of those. I was digging in New York, I don't know, 20 so years ago, and you run across it. And it was sealed, and I was looking at it, and the guy behind the counter goes, "Dude, I really want to open it. Will you buy it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll buy it." So he put it on, and it's great. So it turns out Mae West made two records in 1966, a Christmas record and a rock record with this garage band called Somebody's Children. Children spelled with a Y because, it was the psychedelic garage era. And it's super cool, like really fun. The cover is ridiculous. It was like pre-Photoshop. So there's this like cartoon drawing of Santa, but then like just a black and white photo of Mae West basically taped on it. Some covers, Merry Christmas Baby, Santa Baby, but in that breathy sort of tawdry voice that Mae West is known for.
Yeah,
and, if you're a digger, it's not a super expensive record. You can find it for a reasonable price.
Very distinct. Well, if you're just joining us, we are talking about obscure Christmas music. Of course, we're doing this Curious Nashville style, so we're taking questions as well. We're talking today with Howard Petruziello and Andy Cirzan, two Christmas music gurus. We've also got local reporter Justin Barney with us. I think we're going to take our first call. I want to remind folks that you can call in if you have a holiday music memory, a holiday music question. The number is 615-760-2000. I want to get our first caller in here, and then we'll keep talking with Andy and Howard. Of course, Andy and Howard, you are welcome to weigh in on our callers today. So I think we're going to go to Rosemary in Murfreesboro, who actually has a connection to a local Christmas choir from back in the 70s. Rosemary in Murfreesboro, you're on with This is Nashville.
Hello.
So, Rosemary, tell us, you had some personal experience singing in one of these popular choirs?
Yes, I did. I was working for Third National Bank in the early 70s, about 1972, and they had a Christmas choir, and we sang every day at noon in the lobby during I guess it was the week before Christmas, or it may have been 2 weeks, I can't remember. And we also did a TV program, and I have a record album.
Oh, that is wonderful. So just for folks who are listening, First American National Bank had their choir. Third National Bank also had their Christmas choir. If I'm correct, yes. Both of whom appeared on TV, both of whom put out a record. Is that right, Rosemary?
I guess so. I don't know about First American, but I do know about Third National.
Got it. Well, I so appreciate you sharing that memory. Rosemary, thanks for calling in. Someone who was in the choir. Appreciate you calling.
That is amazing.
You're welcome.
I want to go to Andy and Howard on this. Andy and Howard, I think you were listening to the story about the Nashville Bank Choir. Andy, we know you collect a lot of very obscure Christmas music. Where does an all-volunteer, all-staff bank choir kind of, what's your reaction to something like that being put on vinyl?
I'd have to hear it to give a critical review of it. But
well, I'm just wondering if you come across, local companies, local groups, from that era putting things on vinyl.
Oh yeah, car dealerships would do it. They put out 45s. Even this band, the Free Design, who are one of the most important bands in the whole Christmas music pantheon, ended up initially getting a profile off of underwriting from the United States Air Force Band, and it goes everything from that to a guy named Trosclair who promoted local groceries, and but you could go down there and into the studio and make your own recording and walk away with it, and I think it was just a way for commerce to keep moving through the holidays, and most of those songs are unlistenable in my mind, but every once in a while one comes through, especially the Free Design version of Shepherds and Wise Men, which if listeners are not familiar with that song, they should be if they want to hear of some of the most amazing Christmas music ever put to wax.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Howard, I want to go to you too on this. Do you have kind of local Christmas music in your collection as well?
Well, I've bounced around a lot, so I'll buy anything. If it's a church choir, a high school, I'll buy a lot of that stuff. One that's interesting, there's a woman named Ruth Lyons who, I'm originally from Cleveland, and had no idea about her. She was in Cincinnati, kind of, sort of like an early boss woman type. She had her own TV show, started on the radio, but through her, I guess she was on the air Southern Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia. So she was kind of a big deal back then. Had her own talk show, but she made Christmas music. So she produced a couple records on her own indie label, kind of punk rock, but not punk rock music. And they're awesome. First one came out in 1958, and I was in a thrift store in Dayton, Ohio, one time, and doing, Andy, like you do, you ask the guy, hey, got any records? And you're digging through. You mentioned Christmas records, and the guy was like, don't move. He ran to the back room, came out with this record, and he goes, you have to just take it. I'm giving it to you. And it was the Ruth Lyons record. And so I went down the rabbit hole, as one does, and she ended up one of the songs ended up getting released later by Columbia Records, so it sort of became a thing. But it was crazy. This record sold 200,000 copies, but in a very specific region where she was on TV. Well, so to me, that's similar to the bank one. It's just you either knew it or you didn't, but the music's pretty great. A couple of really awesome songs.
You mentioned two things that I want to circle back on. One, the idea that when you walk into the record store and if you say Christmas music, you sort of can't miss these records. And of course, some people probably have zero interest in them, but then you've got collectors like yourself. So I guess it's kind of like a self-selecting sort of group. So they knew. I've seen the Christmas bin is usually small.
Yes.
Well, let's swing to the other side, though. On the other end of local or maybe kind of DIY, Christmas music can also be kind of big business. And these songs each Christmas season come back, roaring back, even onto the charts. Howard, are you also collecting, the big names, the ones that are super familiar to us? Is that part of your collection?
Just because I like it, I kind of have most of them. A lot of that stuff I just have on CDs that are just in a box somewhere. But yeah, no, everybody should own, the Phil's records, the Phil Spector record. It's just great. Ella Fitzgerald, Swingin' Christmas. Why would you not own that record? What I kind of love about Christmas music is you can sort of be genre agnostic. I was leaving a barbecue restaurant in North Carolina Saturday, and Do You Hear What I Hear came on. I was I paused, and it was Whitney Houston, and I was like, it's awesome. Also I'm in New Jersey, so respect to Whitney, but you can get the obscure weird stuff, but then you can hear Whitney Houston, and I love it all.
Howard, you said before that a lot of them are pretty cheap, which is also my experience with a lot of Christmas music, things that are just kind of recorded, and a lot of Christmas music in general. I feel like it's pretty affordable. Do you have like a grail, or is there like a really expensive, really rare Christmas vinyl album?
Yeah, there probably are, but Grail. I mean, a lot of the stuff, like some of like the free design stuff that Andy was talking about. There's a lot of the 45s I would like to find, but you can't buy them all. But
yeah, well, or Andy has them in his offsite storage. Yeah. Is I think we're there. Andy, I want to swing back to you. I know that we asked you to pick one unusual Christmas song to highlight here. So we're going to cue that up. We're going to hear it, and then we're going to ask you about it. Okay, so this is Andy Cirzan's pick for an unusual Christmas song. It's "Daddy's Drinking Up Our Christmas" by Tommy Hester.
I left my mama crying. She'll cry herself to sleep. Daddy's drinking up our Christmas in that bar across the street.
Okay, Daddy's Drinking Up Our Christmas by Tommy Hester. I want to plug, we're going to go to Andy to hear about this song. Do you want to mention, listeners, you can still call in before the end of the hour, 615-760-2000 if you want to talk about Christmas music, ask a question to our gurus, or just remember a holiday music tradition. So, Andy, that song, Daddy's Drinking Up Our Christmas, what's the spark for you in this one?
It's just so off the wall and ultimately sad, but the musicianship is there. It's on a tiny little regional label out of Little Rock, Arkansas, and by a gentleman named Tommy Hester. And it's the holidays, and this kid's mother is saying, your daddy's down there spending all this money getting drunk with his buddies. It's sad, but it's funny, and the interesting part is the musicianship. There's all these wailing in and out steel guitars and things, and this is like the epitome of a regional 45, which these are the hardest ones to find because a lot of times they never made it out of the little community that they were released in, and if they were released, they were definitely super small quantities. So when I find one like this, it's pretty much an automatic to go on my mixtape.
I was going to ask about this. I mean, for a song like that, did you kind of know that it was out there and then you went hunting for it, or was it you came across it and you dropped the needle on it and you hear it for the first time? Do you recall on that one?
Almost everything that I've ended up putting in my mixes were things that I bought on impulse. That's the key to looking for obscure holiday music or obscure music of any type. You have to have the right concept in your mind of, how to make any expenditure make sense financially. One, because if it's priced crazy, it basically means that it's doinked off my list. And those are records, though, that you find them for about $3 to $5 at flea markets or vinyl shows, and you just take a chance. And this one was the case with the actual song title. I was like, on the Clock Records, and just I'm going to take this home with me. And that's one where you're extremely pleased with how it ended up. And it's I think all collectors would agree you have to have that spider sense unless you want to cart a record player around with you as you're going shopping.
Yeah, you're right. The title on that one was a good clue. It was worth a few bucks.
Just like as a person who covers country music or covers music in Nashville, it's like country music does such a great job of playing off tragedy, and then you add the expectations of Christmas on top of it. It just makes a country song even sadder by setting it in Christmas. That was really a joy to listen to. So thanks for sending that.
We do have another. Andy, we appreciate that song selection. We do have a caller here with a question for our experts. So we're going to go to Jerome in Chicago, who has a question about the Christmas record by Prince. Jerome in Chicago, you're on with This Is Nashville. What's your question?
Hey, gentlemen. Back in the 80s, there was a Prince Christmas record. It was a sad record, but it was a funky record too. And I'm wondering if you knew the history of that song by any chance.
Okay, so Jerome's question here is about Prince putting out a Christmas song in the 80s.
Yeah, it's another
Howard, you got
lonely
this one?
Christmas. Yeah, another lonely Christmas. It's the B-side of the 12-inch of "I Would Die for You."
Wow. Got the citation close at
Which
hand.
apparently I picked up. I picked up at Academy Records in New York, probably 20 years ago. I think $8 on the sticker, but
That's the one. Yep.
Wow. All right. So I guess we've answered this question right away. I mean, I wish we had it close at hand to hear a cut of it. Maybe we'll have to put that on the website after.
Do you know
this.
any other background, Howard?
I really don't. Other than I like Prince. It's the 12-inch to "I Would Die for You," and I love Christmas music. So, yeah, that was an easy purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Add it to the
It's
collection.
actually kind of a sad story too. It's
Andy, yeah. If you know
well-
more, tell us more about that one.
Oh yeah, well, I knew Howard would have that one, and I do as well. And it's he's wearing his heart on his sleeve. I'm not going to sing it, but if you have access to it and you like Christmas music, that's a foundational track for sure.
We have a question that's come in. I want to run this past you guys. A question that came in through our YouTube feed. Someone says, okay, this song might not be as obscure as some of the others that have been talked about, but I think it should be more well known. It's called "A Song and a Christmas Tree" by Andy Williams. This is not one I'm familiar with. Andy or Howard, are you familiar with this Andy Williams track?
I've got the LP probably, but yeah, I don't really know that song.
Okay. So we'll at least put on a plug here for those who are Christmas music aficionados. "A Song and a Christmas Tree" by Andy Williams might be one worth looking up, according to our listeners.
If I could throw a comment in on that topic. Claudine Lange, who is Andy Williams' girlfriend, I think. I don't know how far that relationship went, but he was able to help her secure a record deal with A&M Records. And she has a track out called "I Don't Intend to Spend Christmas Without You" that is just a crushing one. And I would strongly suggest that over any Andy Williams Christmas records.
Wow, we listened to that song played as we started this segment. It had those great la la la's in it. Yeah.
That's a great one. Well, we are running pretty low on time here. We're getting near the end of the hour. I do want to ask you guys, Andy first. I mean, all this obscure music you're collecting, does it elicit joy from your friends and family, or more of a groan or some avoidance?
Howard, you want to start?
My family loves it. Andy, I guess you're still doing your mixes. We did a series of mixes for 12 years where I would do the music, my wife would do the covers, but the covers were always takeoffs on classic album covers. So it would be pet sounds, but we would call it Petruziello sounds, and my wife would Photoshop us in. Nice. So it was sort of a cool, sort of almost history of our family. And I was playing one at dinner last night, and my oldest son, he was like, this is like the coolest artifact ever. So my family's in, and nice. If my friends are annoyed, they haven't said it yet. So, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
so.
At least not yet. Andy, what about you?
Oh, I have a lot of people that think it's a ridiculous thing that I'm going down the wormhole on, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyway for my own amusement, and getting to play him on the radio here with Sound Opinions guys over, we're closing in on like at least 25 years of getting away with it, I guess is the way I would put it. So, I mean, it's not for everybody, but it is a break in the action for me mentally from my day gig and the music I have to deal with. It's more about commerce and my wheelhouse, and it's something I do for myself to begin with, and then anybody who wants to jump on board, I'll gladly give them a copy of it.
Yeah, the true collector's mentality. I am glad that you are both still going strong. Let me go, Howard. Let me get one last question in with you before we end this Christmas music celebration here. I want to know, I mean, when you think about the artistry that goes into this, what is it about the Christmas genre that makes it such a fertile ground for an artist, for all of these artists?
I think there's sort of two ways to look at it. There's a well of classics, and there's that artistic challenge, like, can I put my own stamp on this? And then there are people that write original songs, and I just love the emotion. And Christmas, there's a lot of ways to approach Christmas and Christmas music. Religion, family, weather, gifts, and I just like when people dig into their hearts and come up with something cool, or revisit Winter Wonderland and try to do something cool with it.
Well, Howard, I so appreciate that thought, and thanks for joining us today. Howard Petruziello and Andy Cirzan are our Christmas music gurus. Man, you could go deep on this Christmas music. Thank you both for being with us today on This Is Nashville. WPLN's plan is to regularly bring you Curious Nashville questions and answers. You can find all of the stories, all of the back catalog of Curious Nashville at curious.wpln.org. Coming up in the new year, we will be marking 10 years of Curious Nashville, so we've got a few surprises in store for you in 2026. Otherwise, that is all the time we have for. If this has gotten you curious about Curious Nashville, please check out the back catalog. Thanks for tuning in this hour. This is Nashville is a production of Nashville Public Radio. Today's episode was directed by Tasha A.F. Lemley. Mary Mancini was working the phones. Our board operator is Liv Lombardi. And special thanks to all of the staffers who are helping bring back Curious Nashville. That's Blake Farmer, Mac Linebaugh, and Cynthia Abrams. Should also say the masterminds behind our theme music, not Christmas music, but the theme music, are LaRange and Namir Blade. And the conversation doesn't have to end here. You can comment and tell us what you want to hear on the show by leaving us a message. That's 615-751-2500. You can also find us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and X at This Is Nashville. This is Nashville. I'm Tony Gonzalez. Stay curious.
Vanderbilt's Master of Liberal Arts and Science program is designed to be ideal for working professionals and lifelong learners. MLAS offers flexible scheduling with evening classes taught by Vanderbilt's renowned faculty. Spring courses include Human Flourishing, A Life Well Lived, as well as Social Justice and Global Literacy Studies. Chart your new intellectual and career journey. Open house January 6th. Details at vanderbilt.edu/MLAS.